Hellboy minis. Lily is who we're painting up today. I don't know why. Oops. Things seem so blurry. Let's do this. I think that's going to be better. Yeah. There you go. You guys can get a much better view of the model. So this is our painting series. We're painting the Mantic Games Hellboy miniature board game. For folks that are not familiar with that franchise, it's a really, really cool game. And we started painting up Lily on our last episode, and we're going to keep going. I'm trying to get all the minis painted as quickly as possible so we can get to doing some playthroughs of the game itself. As always, I want to say a big thank you to Mantic Games for supplying me with the game for me to try out and do demos for you guys and do some painting videos for you guys. So we're going to keep going strong as ever and see how we can get things finished up here. And hopefully things don't get too crazy. But we're going to check it out. And hopefully my paints hold up because I will be honest. I haven't had a chance to really sit down and paint. So some of my paints maybe I'm hoping didn't dry out. And we'll get there. I'm using snakebite leather on the pouches. Not snakebite. I'm using skeleton horde. I do normally use snakebite. Oh Jesus, that was a little too much paint. Let me just spread that out. But I used the snakebite actually for her hair. So I'm trying to vary up the brown that's there for color-wise. So one of the things that I'm fighting with a little bit on this model, and we talked about it a little bit on the last one, is that actually the weather though now has gotten a little cooler. So what I will start to be able to do is I can actually go outside and start priming again. When I prime these models, the temperature was a little on the heftier side, which is why I may have to start figuring out a way to do like a spray box, set up a spray box in my own home. So when it is a little less favorable weather out there, I can still work on these minis, because if somebody wants a commission paint while it's not the greatest weather, I kind of have to still be able to do that. So I'm gonna have to figure out an alternative idea. Because although I'll, now of course, if I purchase any other models, oh geez, I'm not on camera while I'm doing what I'm doing. If I purchase any other models now, I obviously it's starting to get colder weather. We're getting into the different season. I should be okay to be able to prime it. But if I want to do commission painting on the basis I want to do, I kind of have to be able to do this all year round. I can't just prime. I can't just do priming on cold days. Lily will probably finish tonight, so we might move on to another mini. Although that's going to be the next, not the last, but it's going to be the last of the main smaller characters. I think what we'll start to do is we'll start to paint some of the larger, bigger characters next. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going in and grabbing some of the more highlighted areas that I want to do a little bit of a different paint color on. So I'm just bringing up, I'm using Space Wolf the Space Wolf Gray. I wanted to do it on things like the zipper on the jacket. Just different areas of it. Things like the symbol for the bureau that they work for. Just picking out little things that I wanted to focus on with it. The top of the gun. So I'm just going in and grabbing little things here and there, so we can start bringing some of those other elements into here. And like I said, I'm probably going to finish her tonight because I don't really have too much in the way of color differences that I have to do with her. I want to do a little bit of darkening, which I'm doing now. So we talked about this with the contrast colors. So one, I'm just doing a little bit of touch-ups on her because I noticed there were a couple areas that I missed. But then what I wanted to start to do was just put a little bit more emphasis on some of the folds. Because what you'll see is once I start to do that, then you'll see she's going to start to take on a little bit of a different form. I'm just doing little tiny touch-ups because as I went around her model, I realized I didn't completely paint in some of it, and then I also realized that I had an opportunity with some of the areas that I painted, but you're going to see it start to come alive as I go on and just darken some of these areas. So we're going to just go in and just add a little bit more emphasis on some of these areas so that we get a little bit more shading play in there. So you can already... Oh, I'm doing such a horrible job. Hello, how are you? De Wolfen Pulp. So yeah, so we're doing some more late night painting. I'm going to get my spectacles on so I can start doing some of the finer details, because the scale of these models, they're board game pieces, so they're a little bit on the smaller side than like a GW model. So I'm going to get in the big guys, see if we can see some stuff. But yeah, so we're painting Hellboy miniatures. While I'm at it, I actually think I might grab actually one of the other models we're going to paint, because I don't see me spending a lot more time on her. She's looking pretty okay. I'll do a little bit more on the way of, same thing with the blue. I'll try to emphasize the blue a little bit more. But she's starting to look pretty done. Once we get to a couple more things. So I'm going to grab one of the... Oh, jeez. I'm going to grab one of the other... Ow, I just kicked a very large box filled with paint. So I'll put these. Oh wait, that's right. I'm so stupid. Before I paint these really big guys, I just realized I have one more guy. There's one more player piece that I have to paint. So we'll probably get to him, but he's going to be a little bit of a quicker paint because he's got a lot of grays and stuff. All right, let me get my glasses. If you guys have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to let me know. And again, I'm using contrast paints. So I am definitely using. All right, let's get some of the. Where's my black? That's the. Actually, you know what? I might do it in this. I know it's not the way that it was on their website. I was trying to be very specific to the way that Mantic Games did their paint job. Because I actually do like the paint jobs they did. But I think. Let me get. No, oh, that is the finer brush. Okay. I might just do it in the gray, and then I'll come back for the black. I know I did this in the other gray, but I might come back just yeah, just give a little bit more emphasis too. I'm just covering it in. I could always come in with the black to fix it, but I wanted to do a little bit of I do like the Charger Gray. I always like this Charger Gray. I think Charger Gray, like the grays and the browns that they did for the contrast, are so good. Oh wait, that's right. I made her jeans that color. All right, so I definitely have to do the black for the belt because I forgot I did her I did the jeans in Charger Gray. All right, but it'll make it easier to paint them because I did them in that prime. Now we're gonna just put in. We're just gonna re-go over some of these little folds. As I told everybody, I always like to go over areas where you see cufflinks or bottoms because it always makes I like doing that because it'll cheat your seams. It's a little painting trick. It always makes your seams look a lot better. So that'll give a little bit more of a darker tone. To the pants. Give a little dimension when you look at it. Oh, we got a full audience tonight. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? So what I'm doing now is I'm just going in and just giving a little bit of edge detail to the model. So we're just going back over those darker areas to highlight them, to give them some more depth. And again, this is one of the reasons I love the contrast paints, because all you have to do with the contrast paints is you just have to go back over an area you already painted, and it will instantly become darker. So you can really work with your edging to make things look more 3D. So you guys can see how we have a really nice shade now that we've created in there for that model. So I really, really, really dig how that's looking. Oh, I'm just gonna put that to the side because they hurt a little bit. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you have questions, comments, we're working on Hellboy minis this time around. I'm really trying to get these minis finished so we can, in fact, start playing the actual game. So actually get some demo and gameplay of the Hellboy miniature game. Or really the Hellboy board game. I always call it the Hellboy miniature game. But it is a board game. It's so for folks that don't know, these are pieces for a co-op board game. It's a little, it's pretty much like a dungeon crawler. That's what it is. And that dungeon crawl, is that hair? Ooh, that is hair. Crap. I have to paint that in his hair. I didn't realize that. Because you know what it is? I'm used to the Liz that's in the Hellboy movie. The Liz that's in the Hellboy movie, they didn't give her long hair. The Liz in the comic books, however, does have long hair. And I always forget that. So, shame on me for forgetting that. And I am trying to go for a little bit more of a comic look. Since the Hellboy board game, they do go for the comic models for the characters. They're not using the cinematic models for it. They are trying to go a little bit more on the dark, the Dark Horse comics. So if you are a Mike Mignola fan, for those folks that are Hellboy fans out there and have read Hellboy, I'm trying to give the paint on my characters a more graphic look. Ooh, I lost everybody in one shot. Okay. Interesting. I had a bunch of people in my audience, and then they all vanished. Not that I'm not happy for the folks that are here. I, of course, am very happy for anybody that's coming and checking us out. But I guess I always make the joke, I guess I wasn't pretty enough. Which is fine. I 100% get it. So what I'm doing now, this is both. I mean, what I'm doing now, I would do on any model that I painted, but I'm doing it even more so on these because the prime, as I said before, because the weather where I live, we got a huge heat wave when I was priming all this stuff. It really did mess up my ability to finish up, to get the really nice prime that I prefer to get when I'm doing these models. So she's a little rough. You can see, when your priming doesn't go well, two things can happen. And actually it's funny, both things happened on this model. So one, you can put too much prime. Too much prime on the model, which what that translates to is you will look at the model and you'll see that the detail that normally would be there is kind of gone, and that's because basically too much primer got on the model. So in some places you will notice a little bit more of an uneven prime on the model. So it's just uneven. So I'm gonna have to do some creative ideas to get that to look better. So it doesn't look fuzzy. I'm getting there, but I'm gonna have to do a few things to make it look a little bit better. And some of what I'm doing already is bumping up the quality of it, which is doing things like darkening and highlighting. So you know, she already looks a lot better just because I've done some of those tricks. Yeah, so I'm gonna work through some of that stuff to give her a little bit of a beefier, better look. So it hopefully will distract folks from some of that, because yeah, it was just unavoidable. And I normally what I would do is I would probably re-strip them or reprime them. But what I noticed was when I tried to start restripping them, these are made out of a slightly different plastic than like the plastic that a GW model or other models would be made out of. So I don't want to necessarily mess with them. So I got to come up with some other methods to get ourselves in good shape. And if you guys are liking what you see, consider giving us a follow or a like. And you can see some links to check out below. Want to check those out after you're done watching the video. That's some other monetary ways to support the channel. You know, if you like what you see, if you think it's interesting and cool, you want to see more, you know, like I said, always following us is the number one best way to know when we're live and to know when we're doing our thing. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking the Blood Angel Red and I'm putting it at the end of the fire, because you're gonna see when I do that, it's gonna give the fire another dimension. So we'll have a little bit more color going into the fire. Because although the orange and the yellow work very, very well, I wanted to give one more offshoot of another color, and it should make, what you guys will see is it should make the fire stand out a little bit more. And I have to go in and do some of it. And then what I'm also going to do is the other piece, which is going to make the fire even cooler, which is put in a little bit of white. So we're going to do a white shade of that fire. And I'm going to grab a little bit of it. I'm going to mix a little bit of it right now. I always like to do like 2 shades of something. So I like to do like a darker shade and a lighter shade of a color. So we can sort of do, I can have that light highlight and that dark highlight. But now what I'll do with this is I'll do a little bit of so you guys can see now there's a little bit more of like a different color inside of that fire. What's also good about doing this with this particular color is that now this color will help to give it a little bit more of a solid. Trying to think if there's anywhere else I want that red to be. I think we're done with that. Yeah, like I said, it's a tough, fickle thing because, like I said, my base, the prime, didn't go as well as I wanted. So, and like I said, I normally would scrape it off, but the texture of these models, it just didn't, and that might have been part of it too. It might have been the fact that maybe, just maybe, the models themselves, they might have not, I didn't think they were resin models, but I think they might have been. So it might have done a little number on the model itself. So that might have been part of why it didn't work out as well. But, you know, it is what it is. And I have to sort of live with it. So I'm going to make the best of my situation. And I'll just do the best I can with what I got. And we got to just go from there. Like we can't, I can't change the past, and I can't change what I did. I have to just move forward. But, you know, there's a lot of different ways to fix these types of problems when you're painting. You can come up with different tricks and trades. What I'm doing now is I'm just going back over some of the black because I was a little messy with my gray, so I'm just tidying that up. And then also I missed the neckline. I didn't really do this that well. So I'm just going back in and just tidying that up. And then I have to go in with my binoculars to get that the collar. Well, actually, no. Maybe I'll leave the no, I want it to be black. Yeah, but that belt, look at how much better that belt looks now that's black. So much better. So we'll do, yeah, just doing like little details. I'm trying to see what's here that I can maybe give a little detail to, or paint little details. So I'm trying to do like the black buttons and stuff. But I will get there. I wonder if I really have 3 people watching. It's so crazy. The Twitch app, as much as I love it to death, it sometimes does not give me accurate signal strength, and it doesn't always give me accurate like counts for folks that are watching. So it's kind of a fickle thing because you think you're doing okay, and then in actuality you really aren't. But like I keep saying, for all you folks that are watching me, thank you for watching me. And I hope you guys are enjoying the painting and the discussion. And, you know, I always ask people as they're watching, you know, I love to hear different projects that you might be working on or things that you might be working on. Oh, geez, I just went over the black. Why did I just do that? That was stupid. So all I'm doing now is I'm just going in and I'm just trying to get everything tidied up with her to see what we can do. Again, this is Liz from Hellboy. We're painting the Hellboy miniatures from the Mantic Games board game. My goal is to get them all painted up so we can actually start playing the game. Give you guys some actual gameplay content of the board game and actually review it. Because I can say the models they give you are awesome, very authentic. Like I've been saying, they go with the comic book look of the characters, which I love, versus the sticking in the movie universe of it, which I think is a lot better. And I'm trying to go for a little bit more of that classic Mignola coloring. So if you guys are Hellboy fans out there, trying to go for that very graphic comic look for the paint. I may move in. I may move in some other colors there. What I'm doing now is I'm just kind of re-going over some stuff, just tidy up my model. And I'm going to do a little I'm really getting into the little detail. So we're actually probably going to fit. I said it before. I think we're going to finish Liz tonight. And then I totally forgot that we have. We have this wonderful man left. Which, if you're a Hellboy fan, you will know this character. He is he's basically a ghost. He's pretty cool. He's a ghost inside of. So he's inside of a gas mask suit, because that's how he holds in his ethereal form, because he's just a ghost mist if he doesn't. And he's a pretty cool character. He's a German character. I always forget his name. But these characters, Liz, that character, Hellboy, Abe Sapien, they all come in the starter box, and they're the characters that you can play as a player, because it's a co-op board game. Which I'm getting more and more into those types of games. I'm really starting to like them from a playing standpoint. It's a lot of. I think it's a great way to play with friends. It's a lot of fun. It's also a lot of fun for, I think, folks that if you are not, if you're not necessarily into tabletop games, or you're not into maybe comic books as much as the rest of your friends are, I think it could be a very good way. It's a good night because you can play, and I think you can get into stuff. It's a really cool way to really start to build maybe an appreciation or start getting into comic books. Because then you're playing a game that's influenced by it, but at the same time, you're it's influenced by it, but at the same time, you're doing some other things while you're playing it, and you're having some fun with your friends. So I'm a big fan and supporter of that. So I think it's a lot of fun. What I'm doing now, I'm just going back over some of these colors with a second coat from the contrast paints. So for folks that aren't familiar with model painting, I am using a system of paints called Contrast. They're actually made by a company called GW. Citadel is the name of the paints, their paint line, and I've been using them. I really like them. I think they're great paints. The claim to fame with them really is for people that are maybe starting out with painting, and you want to paint something a little on the faster side. That's really their big claim to fame, is that you can paint something in a very novice way and get it table ready very quickly. So that is really their claim to fame. But I am here to tell you that if you are a more seasoned or experienced painter, that does not make them bad paints for you. In fact, I would argue that they can become very useful for folks that are maybe not as seasoned. And I was saying this before, because my priming got a little wonky, I'm using some of the secondary painting to create a little bit of a different color scheme and different color tactics to get the model to flash out a little bit and have a little bit more of a sense to it, a little bit more of a design heavy element to it. So I don't want to say I'm trying to hide the bad prime job, but I kind of am. I'm kind of using the and not as a knock to Mantic Games, because again, I am so grateful to them for allowing me the ability to get this game and be able to review and paint it for you guys. But some of the models in the game, the sculpts, not that they're weird, but the sculpts are a little different. So, you know, because I think I said it on a previous video, but they're, what's the word to use? They're they are, you know, they're supposed to be game piece models, so their detail and their sculpts are a little bit different, because they weren't meant. They didn't meant them to be. I think. I want to say they didn't mean for them to be painted, because I think they did. They did mean for people to paint them. You know, they're not. It's not like an army or a character in an army, like you're used to if you play like Warhammer or even their game, Kings of War, where you're making troop units and stuff. This is, you know, they're moving pieces on a board, so. They just have to represent the character, which the sculpts are very good, but they have to just infer the character. They don't have to necessarily give you as detailed of a look. So you know, it's a little bit different than their war game, Kings of War. So just a tad bit different. But doesn't mean that the sculpts are not great and the models are not intriguing and interesting, because they definitely are. I always get paranoid with the contrast paints, because it's been there's too many times where I've spilled a contrast paint or I've knocked a canister over, and if you knock the canister over for the contrast paints, it is it's bad times. You get a big mess. It's not helpful, not pretty. So she is looking a lot better. And again, for the coloring, even on the base, I'm trying to go for a very Mignola kind of coloring. So again, going back to what I said before, if you're a Hellboy fan, I'm trying to use that sort of gray, dingy tone that you see the coloring that Mike Mignola uses for Hellboy. I'm trying to really embody that on the base. So all my bases have like the gray, they have dirt, so like, you know, that very graphic kind of gray or concrete that Mignola has on his covers and stuff. So you'll see a lot of that in these. And I've even been expanding and doing some like blend mixes on the bases, just to give it like a little bit more of a feel, which I've started doing. So yeah, so you can see the base has that little bit more of that graphic kind of coloring, to give it a little bit more of the Hellboyish treatment. So things look like they're stepping out of that cover, like a traditional Hellboy cover, because I thought that would look pretty cool. Alright, so I definitely have to do some touch-ups on skin tones. I have to figure out what's going on in here, because it looks like she's got a gun. Oh, that's another satchel. Okay. So it's just the gun is on top of... Okay, that's easy. And actually, I have Skeleton Horde right here, which is the color I used for the satchels. I didn't realize that this was just another one of... Oh, geez. I'm going to have to redo that. I don't want to have to put white on something. Damn it. Sorry that my camera keeps focusing on my freaking hand. So you guys are seeing more of my hand. which I have to imagine is one of the reasons that people are abandoning ship so much on my channel. They come check it out, they see probably my hand, and they're like, is this guy really painting something? I might actually blame the primer slightly too, because I think the primer I used, that became an issue too, because during COVID, it actually became harder to find the GW primer that I normally use. So a couple of times I had to buy, not necessarily old bottles, but I had to buy bottles that were sitting in some stores for a little bit. And I think they might have dried out. So yeah, I never would have thought going through the COVID like we all did, like that was not something on my radar of stuff I was gonna have to deal with. And I didn't realize that like specialty products like these paints and things, which actually most of them come from overseas, I was gonna actually have trouble getting them, which that was a little bit of a shock. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little shocked that that became like a thing that I had to worry about. So much so that I actually still am working on a commission from a gentleman that I had to stop working on his stuff. I had to literally stop working on his stuff because I couldn't get the materials that I needed to work on it. I actually ran out of paint. And like I said, I never in a million years would have thought that I was going to have to figure out, that situation in the whole pandemic. I really did not I did not think I was going to have to figure and again, I was trying to do something to help out the model a little bit because of the whole, there we go. Because of the whole priming issue. So I'm just trying to add a little bit of shading and a little bit of difference on those pouches. I mean, it's not looking bad. The model's looking pretty good. It's funny. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Once I do those eyes, you guys are going to think it's a great model. Until I get those eyes done, it's going to keep looking like it's wrong. The eyes, it's a really amazing... Oh, that's not the one I want. It's a really amazing feat. But once you get eyes done on a model, they always look better. They always look more finished, more complete. So all I'm doing now is I'm just going in and I'm basically I'm doing a couple of things. So first thing I'm doing is I'm darkening some of the areas of the skin tone. So that we get that same effect that I've done with all the other colors. And then there are actually some areas that need skin tone that I forgot to paint because I didn't realize she was wearing gloves. So you actually do see parts of her skin in her attire. But then I wanted to paint, because if you guys remember Liz from Now, if you haven't read a Hellboy comic, that's okay. But if you remember Liz from the movie, the way Liz's power worked, she was immune to the fire. So she created fire and she was immune to it. So what I was doing was I was just giving her, I wanted to just give like her hand actually a little bit of a leg up. And then I wanted to give the actual grooves of the hand a little bit more character. But what you'll see is that now, now you'll see her hand sort of shines through that. Now I'm probably going to put a highlight on that because it's in fire. And then I also wanted to just tidy up some of the flames because right now they're not looking so hot. But you can see, now we're looking at her. It's looking pretty good, even though we have a little bit of the priming issue. We gotta get those eyes done, which is where my spectacles will come into a great play. In this, and actually, while we're on the subject, let's do a little bit of white to do some of those aforementioned highlights that I was talking about, where you just pick up a little bit of an extra so we don't want to go crazy. We don't want to make it look nuts, but we want to give her a little bit of a leg up. So that we see a little bit of shading in there. I'll show you why I'm going to do this. You'll see in a minute why what I'm doing is actually going to be helpful. Because if you look at her face right now, it looks way too dark. So I want to keep some of the dark areas because I don't want to take away all of the dark. But you can see oh Jesus, I'm not giving you guys anything to look at. You can see the slight difference. Whoops. I just killed this. Shoot, I shouldn't have added that much water. Just see. Let's see what well, actually the water does help. Alright, let me get this back into focus for you guys. Yeah, so I've done this for a lot of models where effectively what I've done is I put the Gilliman flesh on there. Oh Jesus! But then I actually go in and I lighten it up, and I do that on purpose because what tends to happen with the Gilliman, which unfortunately is a true thing about it. It can be very dark. It's really good for like skin tone, like barbaric skin tone or like fantasy skin tone. But when you're doing like subtle things like faces or just like regular people, you may want to use a base tone of a little bit more, and I'm going to go in there with some darker Gilliman as well. But for right now, I want to... Yeah, so why is it? So what you guys are seeing me do is I just brought her eyes back. I brought the white of her eyes back into the model. Now, I'm going to have to... I have a theory on what I want to do with her eyes. I actually want to make them fire. So I may actually make them red once that dries. I don't know yet. Or orange, because she's calling the power of flame, which I think would look a lot cooler for her. But I wanted to get those eyes back to white so that whatever color I decide to put in there, we're looking pretty good. And then same thing, I want to get just some of the... And like I said, she's starting to look done. Now, a couple of other things that I might do. I might want to do some highlights in the hair. Because even though I have this nice... Like, that's a really nice thing going on. To have that dark and nice... The jeans look really good. Same thing with the boots. I may want to do like a highlight for the boots. I don't know. So the front of the boot has a little bit. Now, she's got fire going on. So we can do a lighting effect. Which you can do that too, so you see the light of the fire, which I like doing that kind of stuff as well. And actually, maybe we'll work on that lighting effect right now. So we'll get a little bit of that green. We'll get some of that green on here. Now, it's worth it to mention that another cool thing about doing the mixing of this is that what you're adding into here is you're adding some substance. So it becomes really awesome to use this for highlights because, watch, you guys will see in a minute how this is going to work. So I'm going to pop that on there. I'm going to pop this on there. So what you should start to see, if you look at it, is you should start to see that, and you can put more of the white in there so we can create So now, if you guys look at it, it's starting to look like there's a little bit of a glow. And so now, if you look, you're seeing that glow on her. So now, if you look at it, it looks like the fire is illuminating. gave a little bit of that glow, a little bit of that emphasis. That light is being produced by the fire. Oops. That's the yellow. I said I was going to finish her in like 2 seconds, but yeah, so you can see what I'm trying to do now. So what I'm trying to do, oh geez, I'm not giving you guys a good angle at all. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to build in some details with the fire so that I actually like, oh, is this the red? No, it's orange. I actually like the orange in more of certain places. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build it in to some of the little crevices and nooks in this so that when you look at it, I want you to see multiple fire colors. So it doesn't just look like the basic realizing that you have to put in some of that fire so that it really is traveling. Now, what I might want to do is I might want to do some lighter tones on top of that fire. I don't know. I mean, right now I'm pretty happy with it, and then I like that we lightened up the jacket, so there's like some stuff there. But where I think I will go a little bit more on the lighter side is what I'm about to do now, which is doing the eye tone. So, which I can't believe that I'm not using. That's bad. I'm gonna have to redo that. Because that's totally not right. So you guys can see, I made her have like fire eyes, but I'll show you what we're gonna do to get them really, really looking good, which is the number one trick on the day, on the docket, which always works really well, and that is, nope, didn't do it. Crap. Come on, man. Alright, worked in one eye, didn't really work in the other one. But what was supposed to happen is exactly that. You're supposed to see, I'm going to have to go back in with that orange. It's just a dab. So I'll have to fix the eyes. But you can see right away how the minute I did the eyes, now she looks really good. Or she looks a lot better than she did. They're just not the right color. My own stupidity. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on her face a lot because it's just not the way I want it to be. It's actually really bothering me. So I'm gonna have to rework how I'm doing this. Because the face is just not. A lot of that's the prime. It's the priming. That's a very big part of it. Because the prime, it didn't go the way it was supposed to. 100%. Man, no, don't do that. So yeah, the priming did not go as planned. So you can see that how the model is suffering because of it. I'm gonna do everything in my repertoire to try to get it in good shape, but it's gonna be a little bit of a long road. I can just tell by the way it's coming out. Yeah, I basically have to redo her full head. It's okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna repaint it. There we go. Alright, so now, oh god, I did all that off camera. You guys must be killing me. Alright, so now, now it's time for my spectacles. Because now I fixed it to a level that's a lot better. Alright, so now I can fix both things. But her face looks so much better now. So you guys can see she's got proper skin tone. And basically all I did was I just took white, lightened up the Gilliman with it, which I find is basically the way I've been doing skin tones now. I just throw some white in the Gilliman and it works out really well. And then I'm going to go very light with the way. Now, I really like how that looks. I like her with orange eyes because it makes it look like she's doing her flame thing, which I really, really like that. I think that looks pretty boss and pretty awesome. Now, here's where it comes in the fun part. So even though I use the Gilliman with the lighter tone to do the actual base skin tone, now I'm going to use the Gilliman to come in for the details, which works really, really well. Now, what's a little challenging about this model, and this goes back to what I was saying before, these are... damn it. I was just trying to get Gilliman inside of the mouth, which I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I don't have... There we go. That time I got it. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to do very light. So if you look now, I'm basically trying to do very light pockets of Gilliman to give her just a little bit more characteristic. I'm using the Gilliman just to lightly fix a little increase. There we go. Ah, crap. I'm off camera again. Yeah, so now what I want to do with the spectacles is I'm going to just do a little bit of a light in that eye. But so far, I really like where we're going with this. And she already looks pretty badass. And I'm very happy with the way this model sculpt is coming out. But yeah, I can't stress these enough. Eventually, if you're going to get into the next level of the game when it comes to painting, you are going to want to purchase damn it. Damn it. I'm not getting it. I keep missing the damn fucking thing. Ugh. Makes me so annoyed. I keep missing I keep doing the same freaking thing over and over again. Oh, it's so annoying. I'm just trying to get... Yes. Come on. Damn it. Alright. I need to mix more of it. This is so annoying. Because that's got all water in it now. This is so freaking annoying. So annoying. just wanted to put a... I hate this. I call it fighting your model. It's where you're trying to get one dot to work. And actually, I got to start doing this. I've seen a technique where people use... actually use a paper clip. Ooh. Sorry guys, I'm trying to give you guys what I'm doing. Alright. I got my eyes back to where they were. Keep doing that, guys. I'm so sorry. I think it looks pretty cool. Okay. I don't have to. I don't know if I have to actually do what I'm trying to do. Maybe I can get away with just doing... Oh, man. I do. I actually really like how this is coming. I really do like how she came out. She's not bad at all. I'm noticing one problem. I didn't paint the bottom of her hair, but other than that, I actually do like the way that she came out. You guys look. Yeah, I really do like the way in which this came together. I really do. Is there any more? No, it's watery. I can't use it. Gonna probably go badly. Actually. I keep going off camera, guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, some of it is that I don't know why, but she just looks different. I think that looks pretty boss. The only thing I might change, I might do differently. I might do her cross differently. So the only thing I changed was I gave her silver on the zipper, and I switched out the chain for silver. I thought that looked a little bit better. I think we have a done. We have yet another done character. That's awesome. So that's a whopping 4 out of 25. So I will have a fifth of the models done if I do this other guy. Once we get through those, I'll probably do a quick video of me painting maybe one of each unit, and then off camera I'll just paint all the rest of them because it's going to be all like henchmen for the game. But I love how she turned out. I'm really stoked about, we gave a little bit of a lighting effect, so you have some illumination on the coat. She's got those just like red eyes. Red eyes for her thing. I mean, it's just, I really do like how this came out. I got a little bit of a reflect in her band. Yeah. Jeans look styling. Alright, well, we'll put her with the done folks. And just as a reminder for folks that maybe didn't watch, if you want to go back, you can watch the video where I did the paint. Oh, whoops. Apparently didn't fully paint Hellboy. Oh, geez. Alright, I have to go back in here. I just realized the undercarriage. Oh, he's got a lot of unpainted places. Okay. Actually, here, let's do that right now. Alright, you guys get a treat. You get to watch me finish up Hellboy, because I just realized that it's the under part of him. He's not fully finished. Okay, so that's black. Gilliman. Oh, snake bite ended up back here. Yeah, I just looked at the Hellboy. I'm like, oh, it's all done. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. If I look at the undercarriage of him, he is not done. Yeah, all right. Yeah, just little touch-ups. And it happens. It happens sometimes when I paint. I have a tendency to I call myself a messy painter because I kind of am. I'll get ahead of myself and I'll start painting areas of a model that I sort of didn't realize I didn't paint yet. And then in the case of Hellboy, when I was painting this model, he falls under the same issue where, and they all fall in this issue because it's really my fault for not, it's my fault for not having the right facilities to prime in summertime. But yeah, to prime when you're doing commission models, you really do need a way to vent out so you can do in style painting. That was the wrong words. So you could do painting all year round. There was a place that I used to have access to where I could do that. Unfortunately, that place is no longer here, which is why I don't have it. And this was my first year of not having that particular space. So I did not, so I shouldn't have taken on some of these projects. So, like we said before, I just got to make the best of it and try my best. I don't think the models are coming out terrible, but I certainly stopped priming. So if you guys are wondering, like, why I haven't done painting videos of like some 40K stuff, specifically like the new 40K stuff, that would be why. Because once I had the issue with the priming, I didn't want to keep going and ruin a lot of my models. So I'm like, instead of doing that, let me just take a break and wait until I'm ready to go. And then I can come back swinging. So that's kind of what I did. And that's why Hellboy, when I just looked at him, he had part of him not painted because I was getting a little frustrated. So I kind of gave up. But we'll fix him real quick. Again, it's just a few little touch-ups here and there. Nothing major. And this is actually good anyway because where I have to touch up, I really should have went back over this so I could create a little bit more of the avenue of what I wanted to go for the jacket. So actually kind of glad this happened because I can go in and make that jacket a little bit darker, so it'll look darker when you look at it through his legs. But like I said, just really just tiny little touch-ups. And probably you'll see me now start to build a little bit more, but it's just tiny little touch-ups. And again, giving them that very Mignola feel, so you get that comic book graphic kind of sense, because I want all of my Hellboy characters to look like they fell out of that Mignola comic. I don't want them to just look like your average run-of-the-mill board game pieces. I want them to have that feel, that Mignola feel, which I think I have embodied pretty well with this Hellboy. So, all right, cool. So we got him. Oh, nope, he is not done yet. I just saw a couple of red areas that I didn't get. It's just the lightness of the color. I keep thinking a part of it's not painted, and it definitely is. sometimes I wear the glasses, but my eyes are pretty trained to get into those grooves, so I don't really need them that much. I need them for like faces. I use them a lot for the faces. But yeah. All right, so we got touch-ups on Hellboy. All right, Hellboy is officially finished. So you guys can see what that Hellboy looks like. All right. So I'll put him there. So so our next guy up, which I think we're going to take a break, and yeah, definitely we'll come back for another part of the painting video. But like I said, our next agent is going to be the Ghost Agent. So we're going to be painting him. He's a German ghost agent. Again, these are the Hellboy miniature game, Hellboy board game by Mantic Games. Mantic, I want to thank you again for supplying me with the game. I cannot wait to get these all painted so we can start doing some gameplay of the actual game. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing him up next. So he's gonna be our next painting for the next episode that you'll see, and then we're gonna move on to some craziness. So that's the like tentacle Cthulhu kind of monster. These are the bigger bosses from the game, which you eventually meet, and we'll be painting them up. So we're going to move on to these larger models next, after we do the basics. As a review, the ones that we've already done, if you want to watch the videos of us painting this up, we got our Hellboy finished. So you can see a little bit more of what he looks like. We got our Abe Sapien done. So again, for folks that haven't watched, trying to go for a very Mignola color style feel. So I want them to feel like they jumped right off the pages of the comic. We did Rasputin, one of the bigger Hellboy bad guys, being very Rasputin. You can see we did a really cool like shimmering effect on the cape, and then there's an energy effect down on the bottom, so it looks like he's actually summoning energy and like putting it up into himself with his glowing eyes. And then we finished up today, so if you want to go back and watch the rest of this episode, we finished up Liz. Liz with her pyrotechnics. We did some reflecting effects on her. We got those really orange eyes, like the fire is affecting her. So you guys can see what we painted there. And again, very much on the bases. You can see that very Mignola kind of color style that you, if you're a Hellboy fan and you've read the Hellboy comics, you can 100% appreciate. Now those 4 pieces, 5 if we include our Ghost Agent, which I keep forgetting what his name is. It's like Hans something. He's a German ghost. He 100%. That's your 5th character. So as you play the board game, which is a co-op board game, you can pick these. That's a bad guy. The other big guys are bad guys, but you have 4 players in the starting set to choose from to start off, and you guys are co-op, trying to beat the bad guys. It's basically a dungeon crawler co-op board game. So something pretty cool to check out. If you guys like what you saw, if you like what you're seeing in general, please consider following the channel. If you follow and check us out, the more you follow us, the more we're out there and we're with other folks. So we really appreciate that support. And the more followers I get, the more you tune in live with us and contribute and talk with us. 100%, I can get further with Twitch and be in more places and check out more people. You also can check me out. You can check out the links below. Just realized this was in my shot the entire time. You can check the links below. That's some other monetary ways to support the channel. You can see both my Patreon and my website. The website has some more painting examples, so both my commission painting work and my illustration and comic book work. So if you want to check that all out, you can purchase work from me. You can contact me for commissions and other things. All of that money goes right back in. If you're a big comic book fan, since obviously you might be because you're tuning in to something Hellboy related, My Patreon, it's all about my independent comic work. So you can check that out, become a member, become a Patreon, and get access to original comics and strips every month that I'll be working on and doing. So if you want to check all that out, please check the links below. I get that monetary support might be tough right now. So like I said, the follow is just as good. Sharing it with others, telling people about the channel, checking us out. You can also check out my YouTube channel. So not only can you see quite the majority of these painting videos for the Mantic Game stuff and some additional reviews of Mantic Game products, which again, thank you Mantic Games for sending me all this stuff. But you can also check out me painting Marvel Crisis Protocol figures, some other painting videos. Eventually I will have some original content that's not just the Twitch content, but cool thing about that is I'm archiving the Twitch stuff there, so if you missed out on a series, it'll be up on YouTube, since Twitch only holds on to stuff for about 14 days. So there'll be more content up there. You can see RPG sessions that we have. I just actually put up our this State of Geek, which is our monthly talk show that we do. Podcast kind of thing, which goes over a bunch of different avenues: tabletop, video games, movies, TV, all kinds of cool stuff. So I am a multifaceted channel. There's some live art work there, me doing some live drawing as well. There's lots of different things for you to see at the channel, so check it out. Please think about following and subscribing. We'll have some awesome video game reviews because, of course, Marvel Avengers is coming out this week. So looking forward to that and giving you guys some more gameplay of that as well. The beta I do have up on the channel as well if you want to check that out. So then, again, thank you all. Please stay safe, wash your hands, and please respect all the folks on this planet, because without us working together, we're not going to get out of what's happening. So again, thank you very much, and I'll see you at the next video.